Can't let them take my soul. Nah, 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 no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, 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 no. See, we was cool right before it hit your fist, but it hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. But I took a break, I had to leave and go get cleansed. God forgive me for all my sins. I can't say these hoes, cause my last name ain't Kent. Cooking on the stove, that's the way he paid the rent. Working on the pole, that's the way she pays tuition. Better watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah, yeah. I learned my right from wrong on the song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs. Ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, yeah, let me know. Cause it ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. Yeah, I need my space to breathe.
Hi everybody. I am not whoever the picture was that was up. I'm Shaundra McKeithen. I'm one of the hosts of the Rabble, but I'm sitting in on this fifth Monday on This Is What I Think. And you guys know that I'm very opinionated. So I'm going to keep it black, but I'm going to keep it brief. Okay. So we're going to jump right on in here and start talking about some hot topics today, So in the news, I no longer I'm no longer embarrassed by some of the things that our Black people are doing. So right now in the news is Eric Adams. And for those of you guys that don't know who Eric Adams is, he is the mayor of New York. He was a former police officer, and he won as the mayor probably about 2 years ago. So about not even a week ago, he was arrested by the federal government, the DOG, the feds, for taking illegal contributions to his campaign from Turkey, And I can't say it enough. When we get into places of power, we have to be better stewards. We could have had checkered past, or anything, Caucasians are able to take millions and millions of dollars, and they may or may not get caught. They may or may not go to prison, but I can promise you that if we take a dime, a dollar, there's a lady in Savannah, Diane Harvey Johnson. I remember a long time ago, I was a teenager when I think she took $2,500 and they sent her to prison for taking $2,500, So here it is, he's staying in the Four Seasons, rooms that cost $4,000 a night and things like that, sponsored by, dignitaries in of Turkey, knowing that he's not supposed to do it. And his campaign chairs and things like that, they're documenting it because they're emailing back and forth. So it's a whole trail of paperwork on this. And, I'm just saying, sir, you don't even need to get a lawyer, Do like all of your campaign people have done. A lot of people started stepping down, started stepping aside because they knew we have been caught, and he's going to be just like the former mayor of New Orleans that was the mayor during the time that Katrina, I don't know if you guys remember him. He was African-American mayor. He went and did a 10-year bid for taking kickbacks. Kwame Kilpatrick of Detroit. He was a very well-known mayor. He wound up going to prison. We cannot do the things that other races do. So you have to, come on, people, so that's what I think about that, and I don't even really want to talk about P. Diddy, but because it has come up so, P. Diddy has been a sick individual for a long time. And he is just like all of the uncles and brothers and everything else in Black society that we don't want to talk about. We know that they are there, being sick in our family, but we don't want to talk about them. And Black people, we have a hard time talking about sexual deviance in the Black community. P. Diddy didn't just start hitting on women, kicking women when we saw that disgusting video of him beating Cassie down like she was an animal when they were at a hotel. He didn't just start doing that. Plenty of people saw him do these things over the years, but it was kept a secret. And it's that, don't tell type situation, or, don't talk about this. We don't talk about this outside of the house or outside of the family, and we need to stop that, because we are the enablers of these people to be able to victimize so many people. And that is the reason why, by the time these type of people are actually tracked down, like the R. Kellys of the world and many other people, and even we don't even have to talk about the superstars. We can just talk about regular people, our uncles and cousins that we know. By the time they're tracked down and one child or one adult has the courage to step forward and say, yes, he did touch me, or yes, he did rape me, by that time, he's probably already ran through 7 or 8 different people inside the family, and probably has victimized as many as 20 or 30 outside the family. But we never wanted to talk about it. And these are things that we need to be talking about. We need to be telling, instead of telling our little girls, well, you need to keep your legs closed, or, or you need to get over it, or whatever. Instead of telling them all of this, no, we need to give them encouragement. And we need to tell them that what happened was not their fault, and that this person is a sick individual who has sexual desires, that can't be explained, and that it's not their fault, that this person needs to be locked away for a long time. But instead we put that onus on these young girls, young men, and they walk around with the feeling of guilt, the feeling of shame, and all of these things for many, many years, decades. Some people wind up killing themselves. They said that P. Diddy was allegedly, associated with one of the young men from Crisscross, and that this is the reason why he wound up, taking his own life. And for some people, they can't, especially for a young man, because if you have a man that has abused you and you're a young man, it will cause you to question your sexual identity, and some people get strung out on drugs and all types of things, to try to quiet the voices on the inside of them that's telling them, that they're not good enough, or, they may be, telling them that they're gay, because somebody has victimized them. So we need to be better as a society, and we need to put a stop. If we would have put a stop to P. Diddy, or Diddy, or whatever he's calling himself these days, instead of inmate number, 2229. If we would have put a stop to him when we heard rumor that he had forced Al B. Sure into, performing a sexual act on him many, many years ago. If we would have canceled him back then, it would have never been a Casey or anybody else situation, but because he had money, he could pay for people's silence, and now it's all coming out, so I feel sorry for all of the victims. I pray for all of the victims, because, I too have been a victim of sexual assault back when I was a child, and my mother, told me, basically, there's no need to talk about it. You'll get over it, things like that. And no, I never got over it. I had to go into counseling. I spent many years depressed, and then to have suffered it again in my older age, and still have, friends that said, oh, well, took sides and everything, and said, well, you need to just let it go. But no, I fought for justice, and I'm still fighting for justice, and I will continue to stand up for people that have gone through that. And I'm trying to make sure that no other woman has to endure the types of things that I've had to endure, you know, on any side. But moving on to other things. So I hate talking about Trump, but I have to talk about him just a little bit in order for me to talk about my next topic. Because I've been talking to some of our Black people, you know, African Americans in my community, and just I know African Americans, back in Savannah. I live in Houston, and when former President Trump came out 3 weeks ago and started talking about Haitian people in Ohio eating cats and dogs and geese and things like that. And then they started receiving death threats, and it became a whole thing, And so I started, talking to some of my friends and seeing how they felt about it. And we all had opinions. And I found out that some of my friends were not as compassionate. And I was just like, well, some of them felt like, well, that's not my business, that's them, and they coming over here, taking our jobs. And I'm like, what? So I felt some kind of way because first of all, going back to, after slavery and during slavery, anytime people wanted to villainize us, we were the first people over here that have been villainized as immigrants. Well, we were forced immigrants, so we wasn't even immigrants. We didn't ask to come over here. They have villainized Black people. They have villainized Indians, calling them savages. We were called savages. We were called less than human. Anytime they want to villainize a race, all they have to do is make people think that we are less than human, And what is so dangerous about what former President Trump, about what he is doing, him and that sicko JD Vance, what was so sick about the whole thing and dangerous about the whole thing is that if I don't say anything to anybody, if I'm just walking down the street and I have long dreads, I'm brown, brown to dark skin, all of my children except for two, are probably the same complexion as I am. I have a daughter that has locks that's down to her butt, and many people, many African Americans in the United States can identify with me, and we all share, visual traits. So if we don't say anything to anybody, we all share the same traits as a Haitian person, because Haitian people look like us. So the only identifying marker on them is their accents. And if you don't know a Haitian accent, I mean, they speak French. So if you don't know um, a a Haitian accent, is no different from that of a some people from Africa speak French, Ibu, different languages. So what he's doing, what they're doing, what the Republican Party is doing, is putting all of us at risk, putting all of our children at risk. And that's why we as Black people need to stand up for all of our Black brothers and sisters, no matter where they come from. Right now, we're going to go to break, and I'll be right back with some more topics.
Join us for an unforgettable Caribbean cruise in June 2025. Hey there, are you ready for an adventure? Our Black Media Network is hosting an amazing Caribbean cruise, and you're invited. What's in store? 5 days of fun on the high seas. Join us for a fantastic getaway filled with parties, workshops, and opportunities to connect with your favorite show hosts. Network and connect. This isn't just a cruise. It's a unique opportunity to meet like-minded individuals, network with industry professionals, and make lasting memories. There's something for everyone. Don't wait. This is your chance to be a part of something special. For more information, reach out to our staff or your favorite show host. Book your spot today, and let's make waves together in June 2025. You don't want to miss this.
All right, we're back. Okay, so when I was preparing for this show, I asked some of my friends and, even people that weren't my friends to send me questions that they may, questions or letters that they may have. And I received an anonymous letter. And I wanted to read it to you guys and then give my opinion on it. And this was the letter. It says, my wife recently had her DNA tested so she could learn more about her genealogy. She then decided to make her results public so other possible relatives could contact her. Not long ago, she received an email from a man, Stan, claiming a DNA match. Stan said he was adopted, and his search to find his birth parents had hit a dead end. My wife immediately recalled old family stories about an older relative who is still alive, who had given up her baby for adoption. Several pieces of information from Stan matched, like his birthplace, and we have no doubt my wife's relative is that man's parent. Our question, do we help Stan contact his long-lost parent? As sad as it may be, I don't think it's our business to surprise my wife's kin with news of a son they've never talked about. My wife is leaning in the opposite direction and sees no harm. What do we do to help or not to help? So my answer was this, and I'm going to tell you, first I'm going to tell you what my answer was, and then I'm going to tell you a personal story as a follow-up. So I said, your wife should contact the relative in question, explain about the DNA test, and informed her that she has been contacted by a man claiming he is a relative. She should tell her relative that she had long ago heard about a child that may have been placed for adoption. If your wife's relative would like to have Stan's contact information, she should share it. However, if this relative isn't open to being contacted, your wife should let the matter rest. So that was my response. But I say this because this is near and personal to me, because when I was 19 years old, in Savannah, I went to this place called Parent and Child Development Center, which was on East Broad at the time, and I did what was called a open adoption, and I was supposed to have contact with my child throughout their life. Well, I found out shortly, after my child turned 1, that whole thing was a lie. Okay. That after a child turns 1, even if you have an open adoption, the adopted family is not obligated to maintain contact with you. So for the next 17 years, I would go on trying to make contact, sending letters to Parent and Child Development, and not receiving anything back. So, it was always a hurt for me and a void for me. And in 2010, I think it was 2010. It was December of 2010. I received a text message from my son's father, my youngest son's father. I told him that I had given my daughter up for adoption, and told him the whole sordid story of how I would be very depressed around her birthday, which was in June, and how this agency lied to me, all of this. So he sent me a text message one day saying, hey, asking me questions about this child. And when I asked him, why are you asking me all of these questions? He said that he thinks that he had found her, which he hadn't found her. She had found him. She had found a number that I used on the internet that was associated with, was one of his numbers, actually. And she had made contact with him trying to find me. And he was doing pretty much the same thing that I was telling this writer to do, is to, he was trying to see if I wanted to have a conversation with her. And so that happened, and we wound up making contact. Like about 2 days later, I made contact with her, and we have been in contact with each other, and going on vacations and everything ever since then, 2010. So it's been 14 years now, and that is the best thing that could have ever happened, because it healed my heart. It so much healed my heart. So that is my personal story on adoption. But moving on to my next topic, how to prepare for Kamala Harris's presidency. If you're a young person, if you're a business owner, because Kamala Harris, if you have been following anything about politics, She's the only person that has put out any type of platform. And so I've been really following her. I follow President Trump also, because one thing I will not do is I'm not going to just vote for somebody just because they're Black, or just because, I would not vote for President Trump just because I can't stand him. If he had a platform that that benefited me, I would actually consider, but when I look at her platform on, giving first-time home buyers $25,000 towards a new home, when I look at the fact that she's trying to give young parents, if when you have a child, and she's not just talking about your first child, but she's talking about even if this is your third child, so for the first year of that child's life, she would give a $6,000 child tax credit. So, these are some of the things that would benefit you, people that's still in childbearing age. And what I wanted, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I hear a lot of people, especially I hear a lot of Black men talking about, well, I don't want to vote for her. And I said, well, why would you want to vote for Trump? I don't hear him talking about anything that's going to benefit you the way that I hear Kamala Harris talking about things that will most definitely benefit you, and if you have a family. So the main thing would be the child tax credit. So that's $6,000 first year, and her bringing back the child tax credit, which that went away. That went away when Trump got into office, and because they did not have enough votes in the Senate to bring it back, because you needed 60 votes. And they have not had enough votes to bring it back and make it put it back into law. I know a lot of people saying, well, why hadn't her and Biden brought it back? And this is the reason why they hadn't brought it back, because they hadn't had enough votes. And what they need to do is get rid of the filibuster. And that is one of the things that she is going to be trying to do, get rid of the filibuster. The filibuster, once she gets rid of the filibuster, this would make it to where all they would need is a majority vote, 51. 51 people in the Senate, then it's law, So the next thing would be the $25,000 homeowner. So if you're a first-time homeowner, that would really benefit you. So you're not having to save money for years and years and years, and a lot of these, a lot of times, people are, they have good credit or even decent credit. These days, all you have to have, even to get, your first house is a 600 credit score, or sometimes even a 580 credit score. But the thing that holds a lot of people back from being able to get their first house is the fact that they don't have a down payment, or they don't have closing costs. $25,000, you're in there. And that would that would greatly improve the number of African Americans that are able to have assets. When you are a homeowner, it changes your life. You know, home ownership changed my life. Now I no longer think about the first of the month, you know, because when you own your own home, you have until the 16th before you're late with your payment. And nobody's sending you a eviction notice if even after the 16th. You know, I mean, it just changes your life. So that's the one thing. And if you are trying to start a business, many African Americans and small business owners that I know, they say, you know, Shaundra, I have a business, but I really can't do what I want to do or run it the way I want to run it because I don't have capital. I don't have access to capital. I can't buy supplies and, you know, things like this. Well, she's trying to give small business owners and especially minority business owners, which a lot of you guys watching me right now would be $50,000. $50,000 can go a long way when you're trying to, you know, do a startup business, or if you already have a business and you're trying to, you know, you're trying to take your business to the next level. So this, you know, so right now, preparing for her to be the president, you know, the things that we need to be doing is, first of all, you need to be talking to your family and friends about how her, you know, voting for her is going to benefit them. Those 3 to 4 things right off the bat will benefit you guys, you know, greatly. You know, secondly, you need to be, if you've had an idea of having a business, starting a business, or even expanding your business, you need to start getting your business done in legitimized. You need to get a legitimized business. So that means going to your Secretary of State. Go ahead, pay the $100 fee to go ahead and get your business license. Go ahead and get that business license so that when it is time, you're not having to, you know, like when the PPP loans came out and everything, a lot of people couldn't take advantage of that because they had been performing businesses under the table. You know, gone are the days when we need to be doing things out of back doors, under the table, and things like that. We need to be doing legitimized businesses. So, and create your business plans, you know, and if you're unsure about how to create a business plan, where to go, you know, I am a person. I've been doing small business and nonprofit consulting for a long time, since 1999. So if you need any help with that, please, you can inbox me at Shaundra Smith McKeithen, you know, on Facebook, you know, just inbox me and send me your information. I'll send you any information that you need. I'll send you links to this information, because all I want to do is have my people empowered to prosper, you know. So that's one thing. And that segues me into my next topic, which is MBE certifications and DBE certifications. So if you already have a business and you've been in business for at least 3 years, it is time for you to level up. And DBE, what's this? I'm glad you asked. A DBE is a disadvantaged business enterprise certification. That is a certification that is given to businesses which are minority owned. So you have to be 51% minority owned. So African American or any type of other minority subset, women owned, veteran owned, and there's a few. And this is a certification that's given to you by the state, and you can go and it's through the Department of Transportation. So if you go under your Department of Transportation in any state that you are, so it would for Texas, it would be the Texas Department of Transportation. If in Georgia, it would be the GDOT, and you download the application, you fill out that application, and you get this certification. We have to take a break and right now, but as soon as we come back, I'm going to finish talking to you about these certifications and tell you how they are a benefit to your company and what you can do with these certifications after you are registered and accepted for them.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
Hey there! Are you ready to amplify your voice and embrace your passion? Tune in to Our Black Media Network, where community comes first and every story matters. We're here 24/7, delivering powerful content on everything from financial literacy to the latest in sports and mental health. We are unapologetically real, reflecting the heartbeat of our community with programs that inspire, empower, and drive change. Join us on all major media platforms to celebrate our unique voices and advocate for the change we want to see. With over 50K monthly viewers, our network is your go-to destination for authentic, engaging content. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the change. Tune in to Our Black Media Network today and let your voice be heard.
We're back. Well, we were talking about DBEs and MBEs. So a DBE, once you are certified as a disadvantaged business enterprise, you have access to government contracts, meaning state contracts. state as a state states have to give 30% of the contracts that they hand out every year to DBEs, you know. So they have a listing of all of their RFPs and bids that's, you know, things that's out for bid. They have a list of those out on their website. And and even the prime contractors. So you have these large companies. Those companies, once they are given a contract, they have to, if they're going to sub out any of that work, they have to sub out that at least 30% of that work to a DBE. So if you are on that list of, you know, certified DBEs, and it doesn't matter what field it is, you know, so if they're looking for somebody that that does catering, or has dump trucks or whatever it is, you know, and you're on that list, and that's what they're in need of: tree removal, debris removal, roofing repair, you know, especially right now when all of these there's such a need in you guys area after this storm. You know, they're going to be giving out a lot of contracts, and it will pay for you to be on this DBE lists, you know, as as a certified vendor, you know. So this is at the state level. So the MBE is a certification, in this is the minority business enterprise, you know, but it's the same thing, but it is at the federal level. So anyone getting federal funding, they have to, these prime contractors, you know, and all you have to do is go out there to their website. They'll tell you all of the prime contractors, you know, the Boone's Allen, KBR, all of these, you know, large businesses that have gotten prime contracts with them. They have to do, they subcontract out a lot of the work that they do. And if you are on the list to, you know, as a minority business enterprise, they have to give you, you know, those RFPs. And if you are, it, you know, in some of these RFPs, they can be sent to you without you even having to bid the work, as long as you have the capacity to be able to do the work. So they would just send you the RFP. It wouldn't even be bid if if it's at the federal level. It would not even be competed if it's a procurement under $3 million. So up to $3 million, that's a good contract right there. So I encourage you to take this information. Just like I said, go and Google it. So you're looking for MBE certification and DBE certifications. Okay. So my next subject, and this is going to be my last subject, is going to college versus going into vocational school. I've been telling people for a long time, for at least about the last 6 years, that we need to get back to trades. You know, if you have young adults that anybody, that's trying to go, change fields or anything. Don't waste your time going to college. Go and look and get a trade. These trade jobs, they are coming out of trade school, going in. First of all, only, many of these trades are only taking about 18 months, no more than 2 years. And they're coming out making roughly about $65,000. Some of them are coming out, if you're going into diesel mechanics, welding, airplane mechanics. Tesla has a training site down here in Texas. If you're coming out of these type of training programs, you're coming out of school making about $80,000 to $100,000, way more than you would coming out with, what they were encouraging us to get back in the day, coming out with these sociology degrees, social work, criminal justice. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting your money. Stop sending your children to school to just be in debt. Let them, get them into these programs that's going to help them to be able to either have a trade that they will be able to make money in, or be able to start a business that they will be able to make money in at the end of the day. I thank you guys for joining me. I'll be back in a month that has another 5 weeks on it. I have thoroughly enjoyed telling you what I think. You tell me what you think about my performance. Maybe Julius might bring me on again before the 5 weeks. I don't know. But thank you, and y'all have a blessed day.
Like that.